something we hope you'll really like.
My god, Ghost in the Shell.
John,
Why can't you be as well animated as
doing?
this?
Slamming my head on a desk.
Why is that?
Because of meta.
Oh my god,
what did he do
Meta
this
made a
time?
video.
Look.
Oh
Wow.
my
I also forgot to care. Because no one else does, since Meta being stupid isn't really surprising. Since he's been stupid ever since God knows when.
fucking god.
You're doing this with me.
Hell no, I'm not. I'm out of here. Did you just lock me in my room?
Uh-huh.
You're not going to let me out of this, are you?
Uh-uh.
Fine, let's just get on with this.
First, let's have a little history lesson. Meta was brought into this world on May 6, 2010. Or at least that's when his YouTube channel was made. However, I wouldn't be surprised if that was when he was born, too.
Oh, get wrecked!
God, that was awful. You guys sound like those really obnoxious kids at the back of the classroom making jokes about the teacher's mom while wearing a fucking Minecraft t-shirt. Your humor has about as much flavor as a hungry man. Don't go fishing for jokes in the Meta is a retard wishing well because it dried up 2 years ago. I know that humor is subjective and all, but anyone with a sense of humor would not find that funny. It sounds like something that came out of a joke book for middle schoolers, which may or may not make this commentary much more funnier.
Over the years, he's kind of become synonymous in the video making community as a bit of a twit. He constantly makes huge statements about video games that causes everyone in a 40-foot radius to punch themselves in the face.
And you'd think that after 5 fucking years of doing this, he'd be a bit better. But, no you.
You're just proving to us why you shouldn't have made this. Also, drinking game, real original.
If only he'd kept that trend.
And if anything should tell you just how amazingly awful the video we're covering today is, then it is the fact that after only 2 days of it being up, Meta put the fact that it was a terrible video right in the title. You know, that thing that most people usually do after years.
See this shit right here? This is proof that you guys just did this to get on the fucking Meta 527 the second bandwagon. A bandwagon decommissioned over 2 years ago. Also, you just proved that this entire video is completely pointless because even he himself said don't watch it because he knows it's terrible. Then again, these guys do seem like experts when it comes to beating dead horses.
Walk down the stairs, turned on the TV to watch My Little Pony.
These are killjoys, aka with the words kill and joys in them. Aka, if they play in an already bad moment, they don't count.
Okay, Meta, here's the thing. Considering how many other people have made these types of lists before, there's really no more need to explain what a killjoy is. We get it at this point. And even if you haven't, it's literally in the word.
Hopefully they don't fuck themselves over, like the last two that made a commentary on this video.
And remember that this is my list, not yours, so please respect that.
This is such a classic line in countdowns everywhere. The thing to understand is that people have the right to not respect your opinion. It's the reason that most actually choose not to say it anymore.
German footage is the best. 10 out of 10. You are the greatest. In all seriousness, I know that this might be my opinion alone, but I think Meta's transitions are kind of stupid. Sure, they're unique, but that doesn't automatically make them good.
Please tell me that was you trying to be funny. You could not have been serious about that. I mean, seriously. This has got to be a joke. Also, you just say that his transitions are stupid, and you don't really give a reason why. Instead, you compliment them saying it's unique, but then you say it doesn't make them good. It just makes this whole comment sound really pointless. I mean, it didn't really add anything to the commentary.
If Quarter Guy and I don't like Shadow of the Colossus, and if we find it repetitive, we don't have to like the game.
Why are you bringing up Quarter Guy? He's not in this video, so it's like you're pinning a huge target on him. If this were a collab with him, I question why Adam would choose to do one with you of all people, but it'd be a bit more understandable. But since he's nowhere to be found, there's no point.
But wait, why is there a killjoy on this list from Shadow of the Colossus if I didn't find much entertainment value with this game anyways? Simple. By the time I faced Bassaran, I hadn't lost interest in this game yet. At least not until right after the fight with him.
So, were you saying that you found the fight to be interesting? Because by the way you worded this, that's what you're saying.
Again,
I was
more
already bored of
pointless
the
shit.
game way before I reached him.
If you were bored with the game, why did you keep playing? That makes no sense.
Maybe because, I don't know, he wanted a better opinion of the game, so people like you wouldn't say something like, you can't say you didn't like the game if you didn't play all of it.
Unlike in the rest of the game, this boss fight can last about a half an hour, which is way too long for a boss fight.
Don't you just love it when the person speaking suddenly gets quiet out of nowhere? I love it.
Sometimes when you try to switch to Valier form, Wisdom form, or Master form, it turns you into Anti-form instead. Anti-form is a massive killjoy because you can't heal yourself, and both your party members disappear no matter what form you attempted to switch to.
Anti-form seriously isn't that bad. Hell, it's better than your normal form and it still gets the job done.
And
What job?
The majority
Grinding?
of the fights will push over
It sure
enemies
works like a charm
on
there.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold up.
How many other people have made these types of lists before? There's really no more need to explain what a killjoy is. We get it at this point. We get it at this point. We get it at this point.
So much for knowing what a killjoy is.
mode, the game's bosses were hard even when I'm in the forms I need to level up in.
You just got totally off track. What does the difficulty of the game have to do with the anti-form being bad? Flawed logic is flawed.
Were you even listening to what this guy was saying? Because Meta said this earlier.
Because you can't heal yourself, and both your party members disappear no matter what form you attempted to switch to.
And just now he said that the bosses were hard even in the forms that you can level up in. If you did your research, you would know that you can't level up in anti-form, which means it's harder to prepare for bosses, and that you don't get experience if you do beat certain ones in that form, which to some people who don't like it come off as complete bullshit RNG. So how is this flawed exactly?
And besides, I am capable of stalling out the battle before I return to normal, because anti-form gives you a lot of speed and airtime, so I can just keep jumping and running around to avoid the battle while the form runs out.
Wait, if you just said that it was easy to get rid of, why do you hate it so much? How is this worse than a boss that actually has some issues with it? I don't understand.
Well, consider the following. You try and use magic to defeat a bunch of Heartless weaker against that than physicals, so you switch to Master or Wisdom form, Valor form if it's the other way around. But RNG decides that you should be in anti-form where it's much harder to get rid of enemies, since you can't use any magic. Or you try to grind via nuking the whole stage, for example, a Hercules tournament. So, you switch to Master form because Final form is only available near the end of the game. But because you're in anti-form, it doesn't work. Despite the fact the Sora is so fast he is on the brink of being unplayable, it hasn't got the same capabilities in strength and magic enhancement as Master form or any of the forms. From what I'm hearing on your side, I honestly don't think you've used anti-form at all, especially when you're trying to level up your drive forms, because the main problem with it is because of what it does, which is stop progress, which everyone can agree is annoying, especially in something like an RPG, and especially when you're trying to, I don't know, progress through the game.
That is why I hate the anti-form so much. Thank goodness it doesn't kick in when switching to Final form.
Once again, you're saying a reason that it's good. I get that you want to make a fair analysis, but if you're specifically talking about why it's bad, you should probably just state the bad things about it.
He's saying this to justify why he didn't put it higher, since it's number 9 on the list. Otherwise, someone would have said something like, you do know that you won't go into anti-form if you switch to Final form, right?
And we're going to skip number 8 on the Chaos Emerald missions from Sonic Advance 3 because they do suck, but there is one thing to say about it. Why didn't you complain about the red rings from a bunch of 3D Sonic games? Were those not as bad?
His opinion, not yours.
Jump Forest is utterly atrocious.
Oh my god, this is such a pet peeve of mine. Remove the noise of the video. Keep it consistent. You either have the footage with the noise or the footage with background music. Pick one and stick to it.
What's done here? Wandering around aimlessly through a nearly pitch black level.
Doesn't look so pitch black to me. Looks almost like you can see everything around you. But no, that must just be me.
Even if you can distinguish between black on dark navy blue, good for you, but some people, possibly Meta, can't. Besides, both black and the incredibly dark shade of blue used in that stage are very close in composition, and I don't think anyone could be blamed for not being able to distinguish between the two.
Beginning it's not too bad, but when you get to the Kelp Lake, there's way too much leaf jumping to do on it, where the leaves completely blend in with the water, and you won't see where you're going to land until you drown.
The leaves don't look too blended in with the water. Sure, there is way too much blue, so it does kind of mess with depth perception, but there is very obviously a difference between the blue water and green kelp.
Refer to the point that I made earlier.
Walk down the stairs, turned on the TV to watch My Little Pony.
Oh no!
Wow, even Meta agrees with me.
I can tolerate the one in Crystal Cave because of the gorgeous scenery and the fact that you switch between using the orang sprint and sliding. In this one, however, that stuff isn't here. And don't get me started on the stupid music.
The stupid music? I know that it might be up to interpretation, but I actually like the way it sounds. It's really catchy and was the same music used in the Crystal Cave race, which you just said was better.
I don't care, and he never mentioned the
Games are
music in the
normally
Crystal
tons of
Cave
fun,
section.
But this one isn't.
Where? When? I want a specific example of how slow portions in platformers are fun. I usually find them to be boring. Oh, but what do I know?
This does
To
not
win,
cater to
beat
my
the Beetle in a race
opinion,
and get
therefore it
50
is
points.
bad.
This might not have been so bad if this overgrown pest didn't maliciously try to ram you to make you lose coins.
Why wouldn't he run into you? If not, it would be way too easy. But then Meta wouldn't have something to bitch about. Oh, who am I kidding? If he did knock into you, he'd probably complain about it being too easy.
And if you fall off, let him beat you, or don't get enough coins, he deliberately mocks you for it.
What, is he supposed to just not say anything? He's already been proving to be a cocky character, so this totally makes sense.
But the complaint is that it makes him come off as really annoying, since there's nothing you can do about him saying that except for winning.
Wait, I can't go anywhere until I finish this list? Fine. I'll get on with the top 5. The ones that give me a major headache just thinking about them.
Now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to get some Mountain Dew. Wait, what? I can't leave until I finish the commentary? Fine, we'll get on with the last 5. The ones that really give me a headache.
Ugh!
And here we have a good candidate for most infamous moment in the game.
Finding General White.
And I can't use Yoshi to get there faster since this overgrown sheep stole my friends.
Overgrown sheep? That's the best insult since Green Doofus.
And if you want to show character development, you have to have them slowly start to understand Vivian's pain before... Oh, sorry. Got off track.
Oh, you did? I didn't notice.
You're back at Twilight Town, and I'll admit, you get an awesome party member. Too bad you have to go back on that trail, back to Creepy Steeple.
Wow, he's really playing up this trail thing for something that takes a grand total of 3 screens to get through. But no, you're right, this is way worse than trying to find General White.
You referred to it as a good candidate, so it doesn't really imply all too much about it being more infamous than Finding General White. And it doesn't really say that it's the most either. Quite frankly, the opposite. Otherwise, he would have said that it wasn't a good candidate, rather the best. So I recommend paying more attention in class next time. You know, in case you need to know what superlatives are.
Apparently, you can't guess his name unless you go all the way back to Creepy Steeple and get the lowercase p, because typing it all in uppercase doesn't work. If you remove both the uppercase P and the lowercase p, this mission would still be tedious, but at least his comment about me guessing his name was Dupless wouldn't be as infuriating or insulting.
It was a joke!
He flees the Creepy Steeple, and you know what that means? More backtracking! The boss fight itself isn't half bad, but why did the developers think this would be a good idea?
Because it was a good idea. It's the second best chapter in the game, right behind the Mystery Train one.
Where? When? I want a specific example of how slow portions in platformers are fun.
So Meta has to explain his points, but you don't have to? Okay.
Intelligent Systems, as much as I love Thousand Year Door, you'd better make a remake of it and fix the backtracking issue.
Yes, that's the reason a great game like Thousand Year Door needs a remake. Because of something that takes like 20 minutes. Yup.
And to think, Dupless has the audacity to call us the Killjoys.
You're a Killjoy, Meta.
The worst part
Just
of the
gonna
game for me
shoehorn
is
that
either
joke
the
in there
intro,
because
which
people are
doesn't
gonna
even
laugh,
count because
right?
Even though it's atrocious, it doesn't count as a Killjoy since it's before the game even starts.
I want you to remember that point. Put it in your head. Think real hard about it. Got it? Good, let's move on.
And they were so lazy that they reused the same build-up cutscene to the original final boss.
Reused is the wrong word. It's more of a remaster. I'm not saying the boss is good, hell, it's awful, but get your terms right, man.
And the second phase is probably the biggest disgrace to a boss I've ever seen. Instead of looking intimidating like the original game, he looks like an overgrown twit. The shading on him is really bad.
Does the shading look worse than the original? If not, then you really shouldn't be complaining.
Baby
My
Bowser in this game
opinion
is
is
a huge
relevant, and
insult
he
to
should
an
be
awesome
thinking in the
boss.
way that I
And so
do.
what makes me hate the stage so much is that mom! There are 2 problems with that. First off, the fact that your mom is the stage hazard? I don't care if it's based off a Game & Wario minigame. Making your mother a stage hazard in a fighting game? That's stupid!
Yes, because this, where an Italian plumber is fighting a pink puffball, is clearly where stupid things aren't going to happen. This is the most realistic game ever, that's why it was rated adult only.
But as a stage hazard, she's annoying as heck. And sometimes she appears when you're not ready for it. I mean, how are we supposed to know that she can pop out of the TV?
First, there are some warnings. With the doorknob shaking, and you know that she can pop out of the TV if you played the original WarioWare game, and if you see the mother appear in it a full 3 seconds before. But looking at the footage in the video was for nerds anyway.
With this, on the other hand, it can not only happen out of nowhere, but even when you're safe, there's almost no room to fight sometimes. This is even worse in the Past Your Bedtime event match, where you have to get Ness, Bowser Jr., and Toon Link all to fall asleep at the same time, but it's really hard to when that mom keeps interfering.
So put the stages on Omega mode. You know that you can do that in event matches, right? I mean, that's common knowledge.
So, that doesn't change the fact that the problem is still there, especially in all the other main modes as well. And maybe he wanted to 100% the game, rather than making it easier by using Omega mode.
I don't care if you people like it. Just because you think it's funny doesn't mean I automatically have to agree with your opinion. Remember, this is my list, my opinion, so learn to respect that.
And here we see classic Meta, always thinking everyone is out to get him, even his fan base. Also, how ironic is it that you just said you don't have to agree with our opinions, but we should respect yours? Where's the logic in that?
You do know
Only
that
time I
agreeing
will
with an
ever play on
opinion
the
and
stage
respecting an
is if
opinion are
it's in
two
Omega
different
form.
things, right?
And, let's face it, every stage has an Omega form.
Wait, so if you even mention that you can put it in Omega mode, then what is the issue here? Or is hitting X too much for you to handle?
Walk down the stairs, turned on the TV to watch My Little Pony.
Or, you know, if they might not actually be in space.
Wait, why does this count as a killjoy? I didn't say that they had to be gameplay only. It has the words kill and joy in it, and it kills my joy, so there!
Okay, remember that thing that John told you to remember?
The worst parts of the game for me would either be the intro, which doesn't even count because even though it's atrocious, it doesn't count as a killjoy since it's before the game even starts.
So Meta, I propose this question to you. If it didn't have to be gameplay related, then why the hell couldn't you include the intro to Yoshi's New Island? After all, it kills your joy, so there!
Oh, John, I think you're expecting way too much from him.
Yeah, you're probably right. This is Meta we're talking about.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
That is drama and fallacy, sir. He never said the Killjoy had to be gameplay related. The reason why he couldn't put Yoshi's Island is in the fucking clip you provided.
Either be the intro, which doesn't even count because even though it's atrocious, it doesn't count as a killjoy since it's before the game even starts. It doesn't count as a killjoy since it's before the game even starts.
What he said and what you claim he said are completely different, since the ending comes after the game, where you've already played it, and the intro comes before. Also, he never said that the intro killed his joy, he just said it was atrocious.
This should be an emotionally satisfying ending, but it's even worse than the old projector ending. I'd rather have a low quality and anticlimactic ending than a horribly mean-spirited and unbelievably stupid ending.
I wouldn't. In fact, I don't think anyone would. What if at the end of Bloodborne, suddenly the game dropped to 10 FPS and pixelated, and you couldn't tell what the hell was going on? Nah, but that's better than the mean-spirited ending of the game.
Chrono Trigger is still an epic game, but this moment right here is so atrocious that it makes me forget about all the amazing times I had with Chrono Trigger.
Well, then you're an idiot. Simple as that.
If someone doesn't listen to criticism in a time span of 3 years, they probably won't listen to it at all.
Oh my
Just
God.
saying, you know.
Walk down the stairs, turned on the TV to watch My Little Pony.
Do you see what is wrong with this? We're forced to constantly go back and forth between the beach and the house in order to do this.
Oh no, it really is such a fucking bother to go back and forth between a couple of screens to keep the person who raised you and was like a father to you alive. Why, that's ridiculous. He can die for all I care. Why should I help him? I'm done, Meta. I'm fucking done. You did it to me.
There's
See what I
literally
mean?
nothing else to it, except for how you should go for the faster ones and ignore the slower ones, for they'll make his illness worse. I wouldn't mind that, but this goes on for about half an hour of nothing but going back and forth between the beach and the house!
You're a dirty liar, Meta. This takes all of 5 minutes. Maybe 10 if you take a while, but half an hour? Are you pulling these facts out of your ass? I mean, come on! Anti-form seriously isn't that bad. Hell, it's better than your normal form and it still gets the job done.
Because that didn't seem like an asshole at all.
And every time you walk back into the house, you have to wait for him to get into bed before you can feed him the fish.
Oh no, who knows what you could have done with those extra 2 seconds? Mercy is me!
It's
anything,
what
it
was
completely
me.
ruined
Get your
the mood.
fucking terminology
I
right.
literally
Oh yeah, not only that, but if you're a scrub trying to get the counter up to 256 to keep him alive, it could be seen as an inconvenience. Or perhaps A killjoy?
Walked down the stairs, turned on the TV to watch My Little Pony.
So, Scotty, final thoughts?
I wish I were dead.
I can't say I blame you.
This was awful. I swear to God, this is the worst use of over 20 minutes I've ever seen. Ever. Even though you commentated on a video that Meta himself knew was bad, you guys were still surprised when people were saying that the video is awful, even though it's much worse than the material you're commentating on. Oh yeah, 2 other people also did a commentary on this video. And I swear to God, those jokes, every time I heard them, I was just thinking, was I in a CSGO match full of 12-year-olds? I don't even give a shit if it's 3 months old, fam. Probably the biggest problem with this is the fact that you've been using your opinions as rebuttals throughout the whole video. Every time you would say what he thought was a killjoy and why, you would defend it based on your own opinion on the matter rather than actually refuting his points. And every time you did do that, they held almost no ground at all. This video was nothing more than you're wrong because I liked it. Also, this video was littered with stupid ad hominems, pointless shit that's never explained in detail, and awful 2-second attempts at humor. It'd be one thing if these videos would be over the video, i.e. audio ducting, which would make it seem less of an issue, but these were all placed in the middle of it, so the video would cut every 5 seconds for something completely pointless to be said in one. It also slows the video down, and it was really annoying. If you're gonna say something pointless, make sure it doesn't slow the video down as much as it did here. In fact, don't put anything pointless at all if it doesn't contribute anything, especially if it's unfunny. Funnily enough, this is coming from the most unfunny commentator in the community. I think I should go kill myself now.